my God, I love two wheels! Yay. So here I am in the beautiful panhandle of Florida in Seagrove Beach. And as we all know, the Gulf is getting warmer. And with that warm water and air, the hurricanes are getting stronger and longer. So what do you do here? How do you deal with this changing weather? So here I am at Ken and Kathy's. They had to put in a swale for a project they did, and they don't love their swale. So I want to help them fall in love with their backyard. And people are like, what's a swale, Michelle? You know what, I'll tell you what a swale is. It's basically just a ditch that you dig in your yard. It's a hole in the ground, so when the water comes, it sits there for a little bit. We all know that plants make it prettier, but they can also be super helpful for us, for the pollinators, for your soil, and also to help when that water comes, how do we keep it where it is instead of flooding your whole neighbor's yard and house and road? So we want to slow it, sink it, save it. That's what we're going to do with our swale today. I can't wait for you to meet my new friend, Evan. He is a horticulture extension specialist, like a secret agent, but with plants. He knows all the plants. He even knows the Latin names. Woo! I can't wait to ask him some questions, because I do have a few questions.
Michelle!
My new plant friend.
Good morning.
It is so good to see you.
It's great to see you too.
All right, so this is the swale. So tell me the backstory. Why did they have to put in the swale?
So they were doing a construction project, and as part of the county regulations, they had to have some way to mitigate the water that comes off their property.
Yeah.
You don't want to be flooding out your neighbors when you're putting in new construction, right?
True.
So they had to dig this swale and this kind of retention basin, and that gives the water somewhere to go when it rains heavily. We're almost at sea level right here.
Okay.
So water tends to pool and collect wherever there's a low area.
Okay.
So if you're building up, your neighbor is down, you're probably going to be sending water their way.
Yeah.
So the sandy soil we have here, it erodes very quickly. It washes away.
Okay.
So if you don't have any protection for it, you're looking at some pretty significant damage.
And so that's the goal, I just feel like, to keep the water where it is, to slow it, that actually then we are recharging underground water systems, trying to make our garden areas spongier so we can absorb and hold and sink more water. And that's why I love a swale.
As part of the project, they had to take out a lot of trees.
Oh, okay.
And that kind of bummed them out. So we need to get it looking really good. So we're going to be in this area right here along these two banks of the swale and down in the bottom. They really want to have some vegetables growing, so we're going to put a raised garden bed right here.
Right here.
Yeah.
And then the plants that, to use your term, that like wet feet.
Those will be down in the bottom of the swale where they can get a little more moisture.
And then, so we have some other plants that are going to go sort of on this side.
And up here. We do have to occasionally deal with drought in the spring and fall, but we do get 20 inches of rain at a time. And we need plants that don't mind a little bit of dry weather, but also can handle being covered over with water once in a while.
So we're going to go to the nursery and buy some plants. We're all happy at a plant store, right? It's better than a candy store, I think. I love this place.
I love it too.
This is so amazing.
They have so many great plants here.
What is this one?
It's a chenille plant.
Chenille. Ooh, chenille. You're showing off, chenille. So we want to find the right plant for the right place.
Right plant for the right place, exactly.
Yeah.
Some native plants.
Okay, oh yeah.
Right size, that like the right sunlight,
Yeah,
that like the right amount of moisture. So this is blue-eyed grass.
Blue-eyed grass.
And
nice.
it doesn't look like much right now, but in the spring it gets a beautiful bluish-purple flower on there.
Okay, yeah, look at that. Nice.
It loves the water.
Okay.
It can tolerate it if it dries out a little bit. Will reseed itself to some extent. And as it grows bigger, you can actually divide it yourself. So you can chop it into pieces.
It's going to look sparse when we start, but then it's going to fill it.
Yeah, for smaller plants, you can think maybe a few months ahead.
Yeah.
For things like trees, you probably need to think about 10 years ahead.
Okay. Are these native?
These are. So it's great to have a mix of, native plants that all the native wildlife and insects and all the critters can live with. And then we can also bring in some other things that aren't native but are Florida friendly, are adapted to our area and do really well and don't spread too much and cause a problem.
Yeah. So I think we could get about 5 of these. We'll start making a pile up here, what we're getting. How about some flowers? All right, flowers. Flowers.
Aha.
Oh, well, this is our milkweed.
This is milkweed.
I do recognize this.
Yeah, but I think we need a variety that's going to do really well in the damp area.
Oh, what is that kind?
I think swamp milkweed is what we're looking for.
Oh, that's great. It's in the name. It likes to be in the swamp. I love when the flower is what it is, like the swamp milkweed. Oh, good. Now, this is a native, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. So we've got some blanket flowers through here.
Okay. Yay.
They're incredibly tough. They grow right on the beach dunes.
They do?
And they have a beautiful pop of color all through the summer, spring, fall, and they reseed themselves easily.
The swale area, it's pretty big, so I think they're gonna love this self-seeding, that in next season, there'll be more of these. And so that's a good one for a fill-in.
For sure.
Right, so one of these, they want vegetables, so let's put in some vegetables and some herbs. That's good. So, and then a basil. Here's oregano. Okay, peppers, eggplant. 2 more of these. Let's grab a couple more and head to the house.
Great.
Yay. I've never seen one with 2 wheels on the front.
Keeps it more stable.
So Evan and I came up with a plan. We're gonna do the raised bed on that high side, and that's gonna have annuals in it that have to be replanted every year. Oh my God, I love 2 wheels! Then closer to the bottom, we're gonna pick plants that can really handle the wet. And then the ones a little bit higher up, they'll be able to handle some wet, but not as wet. You know, usually the water would break down that wood, it would start to rot. So cedar is a great material. It's more resistant to the water.
Yeah, so the water helps fungus to grow in the wood, and the fungus is what actually breaks down the material. So we want to discourage that from happening. And cedar contains some, compounds in there that naturally repel fungus.
It's like when I was a kid, we had Lincoln logs. Oh my God, look at this. Oh my God, I love it how easy this is. I can't believe how sandy the soil is, so I'm glad I brought a little bit of compost we're gonna put down underneath the leaves. Wow. This is exciting because I got some leaves from Evan's yard, and some of the leaves already started composting, so it's really dark, it's really rich, and what we can't see is all the microbes in there. So that helps turn on the soil. Plus, look what I got. And because Ken and Kathy want a vegetable garden, compost, that's your friend. So when you're planting in Florida, you just want to be aware that the soil is super sandy. So you need some nutrients. And this is nutrition for the soil. So your orange peel, your eggshells, which have a lot of calcium, and your coffee is so good, it can go directly on top of your plants, or you can bury it. I'm just so excited.
I know.
I mean, it's very exciting. I get to be working near a swale, in a swale. Pretend I'm a 4th grader, Evan, and I say to you, Evan, what is a swale? What would you say?
A swale would be a way to slow the water down.
I mean, is it that easy?
It's pretty much that easy.
I mean,
it's kind of shallow, it's shallow.
Like a trench?
A trench almost,
yeah.
Gives the plants that are there a chance to take up the nutrients and the water that's in there, so you're not just dumping it downhill on everything below.
Yeah. So we're gonna do compost first, and I'm just kind of letting this, just sprinkle this out a little bit. Yeah, I don't like the stickers on there, but you do have to peel the stickers off. This is okay. So there's a local coffee shop by the hotel that I'm staying in. So we asked them, oh, can we get some coffee grounds? And they're like, of course. This is not trash. This is food. I mean, look at this, and it's not even gross. This is just beautifulness. Look at this. And we just got a couple bags of leaves from Evan's house yesterday.
And the bigger the particle size of the things you're adding, the slower it's gonna break down. But this is perfectly fine for a little garden bed like this.
I mean, it's so exciting. It's so exciting. I just have to sit here for a minute and be like, oh, yay, I love this bed. I love what we're doing. I love how we're helping the soil right here in this place with some coffee, with some eggshells, and with some leaves underneath the potting soil. Yay. So now, Evan, I think we're ready for the potting soil.
Fantastic.
Here we go. We put our soil in here, we added some compost, and now we're ready to plant. So we have some vegetables, and I have a little surprise I brought from California. So this is an organic onion, And it looks so pretty, and I love a purple onion. And now I'm gonna put this sort of right in the middle. It's gonna be so happy here, friend. And then I just love this shade of green. Our eyes can see more shades of green than any color on the spectrum. Isn't that cool? All right, let's go get the rest of the veggies and put them in this bed. I love this job. We have 2 peppers, a basil, and an eggplant.
In a larger garden, you're going to want to pay attention to things like larger plants shading out smaller plants.
Oh, right.
Rotating between plant families year after year, so you're not attracting all the pests and diseases.
Yeah.
Plants that like more water versus less. All those things you need to pay attention to in a little garden like this. Not as urgent because you're in such a small area.
We're just going to pop these in. And again, because we just added compost and soil, it's super easy. What we're doing is so easy.
And these are plants that are going to do well in the heat of the summer here.
Okay.
It gets so hot and humid that a lot of vegetable plants can't survive, but you do want to water early in the morning, around 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock in the morning, and that helps to keep the moisture from sitting on the plant overnight and encouraging the fungal diseases that can grow. You know, the top layer of the soil will dry out pretty quickly, but there may be some moisture under the soil that are good enough that you don't have to water right away. The plants will also give you a pretty good hint to start to wilt.
They start, they show it.
They show it pretty good, well. But we do want to make sure our plants are kept watered enough because they use the water and the air and the sunlight to make the energy that they need.
And this, I just stuck in this oregano, and this is going to grow this way.
Over time, the heat and humidity break down organic matter in the soil pretty quickly. So this will probably settle first, then as the seasons go by, it'll decompose, break down, and it'll settle even more. So you will probably have to add more garden soil, compost, anything like that to build the bed back up. For a hurricane, you know, it depends how severe it is. So if it floods it and everything dies, you'll probably have to start from scratch.
Okay.
You won't necessarily need to replace all the soil, but it could be that you need to refresh it.
Okay. So we can't wait till tomorrow morning. So we are going to water right now. You don't want to water the leaves, you want to water the roots. Because if the leaves get wet, it can kind of act like a magnifying glass. It gets really hot there. So we're just going to keep our hose low. It's so important to water right when it goes in the ground. These little plants, they're in a little bit of a shock, right? They were a little happy in their containers and we're like, new home. Just think how you are when you have to move out of your apartment. You didn't have enough time to pack everything. You're a little stressed out. Well, these plants are stressed out. Plants, they communicate, they have feelings, they can see in their own way. So when I say my plant friends, I really do mean that. They are my plant friends.
All right. Here is blue-eyed grass, which likes a little bit more moisture.
Okay,
so
these can be on the lower part of this. Echinacea.
Echinacea, not as much water, so we're going to put them up a little bit.
One here, and then maybe rosemary here.
Yeah.
And where do you think the milkweed should go?
So the milkweed we can put down in the lower area as well because it loves moisture.
And this is so great. Okay, so this is native swamp milkweed, and we got the last ones.
It still can be good for pollinators and for the monarch butterflies. You know, they lay their eggs on milkweed. The caterpillars eat the leaves. It's more of a...
Oh my God, so close. So close, you gotta really hurt that basil. So put your rake away the right way, not how I just did it. I'm gonna lean it against the tree.
Yeah.
Well, rosemary is very hardy, and it will grow into like a shrub. It becomes very woody.
In the far north, you might have trouble growing it. It may be humid here, but it can still handle what we've got.
Yeah.
You want to plant them about an inch or two above the surface of the soil around it.
If you're interested, we can link him below, and you could find out how to take his master gardening class in Florida. Now, I have a question here, Evan. So I was thinking with these plants, we should add just a handful of compost in each one, and you said no.
No, I don't think we need to because the plants need to get used to the conditions that they're in.
He's tough.
Yeah.
This is tough love on
it's
your
tough
plants,
love.
right?
We need to make sure that they can handle what's there, and we don't want to get them used to the good life.
Too cushy.
Yeah, exactly.
So they gotta, like their vegetable friends right here, we made it really cushy for these guys. Compost, potting soil, but what we're planting in this sand, these are hardier plants.
Yes,
so
exactly.
they can handle this. We don't want to baby your plants. With the blue-eyed grass, I've learned this is now one of my new favorite plants because it's a very delicate plant, but it's super hardy. The blue-eyed grass and swamp milkweed is going to be in the bottom of the swale. That's what we're putting here. Oh, look how nice this is.
Beautiful.
This is really nice. So we love this. There's no root bound here. So this is a good looking. You never know what you're going to get when you pull these out. So that's why I'm just curious. This looks pretty good too. So you can even see here, there's already some roots coming at the bottom. I mean, I've had plants, I couldn't get it out of the bottom. It was so root bound. It was so root bound. So this is a lot more root bound. You just pull these up a little bit and you're like, oh, you're hurting the plant. You know what? The plant's in shock. So you can talk to your plant or sing to your plant. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. Yes, it will. And they love that. Plants love when you sing to them. I'm sure Evan sings to his plants. And then this is the echinacea. This is a beautiful, you can see the flower on here. Okay, not too bad, not too bad. Planting in your swale is always a fun idea because these roots go down here and then the swale can actually absorb more water. So why are we choosing echinacea?
Something that's fairly well adapted to our area. It does well in the weather conditions here, and it makes a nice, pretty flower.
I mean,
and
this is beautiful.
Sometimes aesthetics is a viable thing to aim for.
And it's hardy. That's what I like about echinacea.
And it also has some, medicinal purposes. You can make, tea out of it.
You can make a tea for it. And this is our last plant going in. It's going to go a little higher up. And
beauty berries hardly need any love at all.
Okay.
They grow wild here. They can handle it.
My kind of plant friend.
Yeah.
Okay, now this we have to build up a little bit.
Yes, so all that soil we took out of the hole is going to
go back okay, let's just put this. Let's just put this. I mean, I feel like I'm at the beach making a sandcastle.
You basically are.
Yeah, this is crazy. Florida, you're crazy. Evan and I are so fond of you. Thank you for coming to your new location. Yeah.
That's great. And really water it well because it needs to sink down into the soil so deeply.
Okay, we ready for the pine straw?
I think we are.
Okay, here we go.
It's gonna look great.
Woohoo! All right, pine straw. Look at this. So I noticed everywhere people using pine straw instead of mulch. So what are the benefits of pine straw versus the mulch?
So we have a lot of forested land in the panhandle.
Okay.
Because the soil is so sandy, it's not terribly good for other crops. So people will grow pine trees as, timber.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, while you're waiting 30 or 40 years for the trees to mature, you can harvest the pine straw, which people then use as mulch.
Okay. And so we know mulch is good. Number one, it keeps the moisture in.
Yes.
So we want all of our soil covered. Now we're understanding that the sun really can dry out the soil. So
absolutely.
Whatever mulch you have, pine straw, wood chips, whatever you have, that goes, it's great ground cover, and it also suppresses weeds, and as it breaks down, it gives nutrients. So there's multi-benefits of having mulch, and I have to say I'm excited because everywhere in Florida, I've seen so much of this stuff. So I feel like people are getting they're getting the message here, use pine straw, use what you have, and this is what they have in Florida. But pine straw, actually, it's beneficial because it has the good bugs that are coming in here.
It can serve as a habitat for a lot of good things.
That's right. So we're building habitat. That's great. I love that. I'm a habitat builder.
Yes.
Yeah, here we go. Woohoo! What do we have to fresh this up? Once a year? Or?
Yeah, once or twice a year, depending on how quickly it breaks down. It tends to settle over time, so it tends to stay put where you place it a little better than some other mulches, actually. So
yeah.
It certainly does help with erosion. It keeps the soil where it's put. We don't see nearly as much runoff.
Okay, Evan, I think we did it.
Awesome.
Now, okay, yeah. I think the pine straw looks a little messy, but
it's a little fluffy, but the rain is going to come before too long and settle it all down.
I think I need some water.
Me too.
Woo! We got a lot done today. What is so cool is that the plants that we picked today can really handle this extreme weather that Florida gets now. So this, because of the swale and the plants that we picked that are in the swale, they can handle the wind, they can handle the water. I hope Ken and Kathy like what we've done to the swale. I love learning new things, which I've learned so much about plants today. And Evan is a master gardener, so I love having him as my teacher. If you're catching my vibe, hit subscribe.